Hey everyone, welcome back to Abby World. And today I'm going to do a video about my son. I'm going to talk about my son and the condition that he's living with. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Throughout my pregnancy was okay. Didn't have any problem. Only thing that I had was fibers, and he was in the breech position. But otherwise, from that, didn't have any complication. Only just the fibers and the baby was breached. But otherwise, from that, he was okay. I did 3 ultrasound. Nothing showed that something was wrong. When I have him, I have a scheduled C-section because he was in the breech position. When I had him, they found out that something was wrong. That there was a swelling at the lower part of his spine, whereas the lumbar, the lower part of the spine, there was a swelling there. They gave me a referral to go to the children's hospital that's in my country because I live in Jamaica. So I went to the hospital and it's scheduled to do an ultrasound to see what was the swelling on his spine in the lower part region. So they did it. The ultrasound, they say that it was a cyst. But they said that it was a cyst and he was very small. He weighed around five pounds. So they said that it was a cyst. So I went home and everything. So he got admitted when he was around two weeks old. They said that he had abdominal detention. His belly was swollen. So they admit him, and that's where they did further testing. So they say that he needed to do an MRI or a CT scan to find out what was going on, because he wasn't flexing his foot, he wasn't doing anything that a normal the baby was doing. Because normally when a baby cry, they always put their foot up. When he crying, he does cry, only move the top part of his body, and the lower part wasn't moving at all. And he was wondering why, and he didn't have any much head power. He could hold up his head with hold his hand. His head always go back. So I did so over the 3 months that I was on maternity leave, I was so depressed and was going through a lot. I was wondering why, God, why me, why this have happened to my child, and he's my first and only child. I said, why this happened? And when I go to clinic, I see other mothers with their child who is the same age as my son, and they are improving and he's not improving. I was there at home crying, depressed, questioning God, asking God why. Because I normally pray when I was pregnant, and rub my belly, I said, God, all I want is a normal child. No matter the sex, I just want a normal child with no disability or anything. And when he born, and when this happened, I couldn't understand why. Why me? Why this happened to my son? So when he was 6 months, we did MRI. And when I get back MRI result, they say that he had segmental spinal dysgenesis. And this is a rare congenital spinal malformation. So I make a little note, and I'm going to tell what's the definition of segmental spinal dysgenesis, and the abbreviation is SSD. It is a rare congenital spinal anomaly characterized by a localized dysgenesis or agenesis of the lumbar or the thoracolumbar spine and spinal cord. So the issue with him is that the problem is in his lumbar area of his spine. So my son, he cannot walk, and he cannot talk. But I'm trusting God that things will work out for his good. So during the time that I was home with him, the 2 months was very difficult. He was crying a lot, crying, and I don't know if it was his spine that's hurting him or he's feeling pain, and he also had a hernia. So I don't know if it was the hernia or the spine that was affecting him. So we did the surgery for the hernia when he was 1, and then he was able to get a little relief and able to sleep. Sometimes, not all the time, but we still have the crying stage like no one then. And we did his spine surgery in January of this year, because in his spinal column, the spinal cord has a deformity. So this is the spinal cord, this is the column, and this is the spine. Kind of the spinal cord floats in the column, and with his one now, his spinal cord is attached to the column, so it's fitted. So this would be the cord. This would be the cord. So I'm giving an example. This would be the cord. So this would be the column. This would be the column. And now the cord in it now. So this is spinal column. This is spinal column. And here I need the spinal cord. But with my son now, it is fitted. The cord is attached to the column. So it is putting pressure. So it is putting pressure on the spinal cord. So what they did in the surgery was decompress it, mean take off the spinal cord off of the column, so let it able to be flow in the column. So that is what they do, decompress it and take out the decompress the spinal cord and take up the defect bone, because his spine is not straight, he has a curve, so his spine is curved. So he have a little hump over, he cannot sit straight. So that is what they did. But during the surgery, they found out that a next issue why he was not able to walk. They say that his spinal cord is not long, it is flat out like my hand. So in the top region of his back, right here, top region of his back, right here where the spine is, right in this section, his spinal cord is flat. And normally a spinal cord is supposed to be a long string in the spinal cord, but his spinal cord up at the top of his back is flat. And the doctor said that they cannot fix that, because they cannot fix that deformity, because that is how he was born. I'm going to also show you a diagram in the video of how my son is shown. So with children who have segmental spinal dysgenesis, the shape like this. Up here is normal, and then down from their hip go straight down is very small, because some of the vertebrae in his back, which is the vertebrae is in his back, where the lumbar is missing. So right here says waist is very, very small. So sometimes that I buy pants or thing for it cannot fit him, I have to alter it, mean take up the side hem up the foot to fit it, to able to fit his size. I was very depressed at one point when he was just born. It was situation very depressed. But at this time, I have accepted my son condition, and my whole aim now is to get him to a point that he can able to take care of himself and not able to and not depend on people who will mistreat him because of his disability. So my aim is to get him to a point that he can able to take care of himself and will not able to depend on others who will try to mistreat him because he has a disability, because he cannot walk or he cannot talk as yet. So it has been in January he did the surgery. So February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So it's been 9 months post surgery, and he just started physiotherapy to try to put, his foot is very weak, to try to put pressure on his leg, to try to help him if he can put pressure on his leg and able to walk. So they're doing standing and help him to bend his knees, put pressure on his knee to creep. So that is what they are doing now, to help him to stand and to help him to creep, to put pressure on his foot. So that is what they are doing. That's their main focus in physiotherapy, to put pressure on his foot to make can be able to creep and walk. I'm going to show you some pictures and some clipping in the video. A clipping of my son, a picture of my son. And I don't know who is going through a similar situation with a serious situation, having a child with a disability. I don't know who this can encourage someone that no matter what, you must love your child like he was a normal child. You must love him and take care of him like you do a normal child, and don't let it affect you. I'm talking now like this because I'm over that now, and all I'm trying to do to make his life more accessible, that he can be more independent on his own. So I'm not stressed about it anymore. I'm just hoping and praying that one day he will walk, and I'm hoping that he will also talk and say, "Mommy, I love you," and so forth. But all he can do now is babble, and he's at a nursery with other kids. And now if you say bye, if you say, "Do you want to say bye?" you wave your hand and say bye. And sometimes he wants to talk, but like the words are not coming out. Like sometimes I aim say "mommy," and sometimes I aim say "daddy," but the words is not clear. But then I'm trusting God that one day he will say "mommy" and "daddy," and say, "Mommy, I love you." So I'm hoping and praying for that. So I'm saying any person is dealing with a child who have a spinal condition or any other form of disability, is to trust God, love your child like he's a normal child and everything like a normal child would do, and love him and take care of him, and don't mistreat him or anything, or get stressed out or ill-treat the child and everything. I know that everyone is not strong to deal with a child who has a disability, but don't harm the child. Even though that you can't able to take care of your child, it is better you give the child for adoption, or give someone who will love and take care of the child. But don't ill-treat the child and abuse the child, because that is how he was born. I understand it is nothing, that's how the child was born. That is how the child was born. Nothing that you could have done or changed the situation. But I would say love your child, and he's a very happy little baby, happy little boy. I'm always laughing and doing his little stuff. He can sit on his own, so I know that is a little progress. He can sit on his own, and when he's on the floor, like you throw his toys or anything, he drag himself on the floor and go for his toys that he's thrown on the ground. So he can sit on his own and everything. And I know that he cannot respond to me verbally, but he do understand me. If I said, Javante, don't do that, that is rude, and he look at me, I know that it is wrong. You know that him do something wrong. He knows, but it's hard for him to say it out of his mouth. But I know one day God will heal him and we're able to walk and talk. But I'm doing my part as a parent to give him the best chance by getting his physiotherapy and doing everything that I can for him as a parent. And I know God will do, I know that God will do the rest. So guys, we have come to the end of this video. I hope this video was very informative and explaining the condition that my son is living with and how I cope on a daily basis with my child having segmental spinal dysgenesis, which is a rare form of congenital spinal malformation. But I hope it was very informative, and I hope this video encourage a parent that is going through a similar situation with their child. So guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and a friend tell a friend about Abby J World. Until next time, God is love. Bye.